Right on. Welcome to Thoughts Off the Stem. I'm Justin Barone, and today we're smoking a combo in the steaming glass. That's right, baby. A little bit of orange juice from 1964. Dude, it's a lot of smoke in there. And a little bit of the cherry AK from Tantalus Labs. It is delicious. The combination is really nice because the excuse me, the mix of the cherry and the orange is really nice. It gives it like this mellow spin to it, I guess. Whereas the orange juice on its own, dude, everything's happening in my face right now. The orange juice on its own really is very citrusy, which I like, but it's, you know, it feels like you're drinking something rather than smoking something. With this, there's a little undertone of cherry, so it tastes really nice. Anyway, that's a really good mix. We'll see what happens because today we're going to talk about the apocalypse. Bum, bum, bum. With everything that's going on in the world today, there's a whole bunch of shit and a whole bunch of talk about the World War III, how the apocalypse is going to play out maybe. And I mean, that's always been the case. A lot of talk about how the apocalypse is going to play out. So we're going to discuss some of the different options and then what we think it might be. I'm like deaf out of my left ear. It's like I took too big a hit and coughed my eardrum out. Jeez. Anyway, thank you for joining me, Justin Barone, your friendly neighborhood pothead, on Friday at 4:20 to start your weekend off right, baby. I hope you had a good week. I hope everything's, you know, working out for you. I hope everything you want is happening. And I hope that, you're getting the chance to enjoy yourself. Cheers to your weekend. You made it, baby. It's time to spark one up and enjoy the show. Yeah, so lately I've been seeing so much news crap about like wars and all this stuff, and what was it? I can't even remember now. All the weed is hitting my brain all at once, dude. It's like an apocalypse for my mind. Is it Israel or Iraq? Somebody just bombed somebody. I'm too stoned to remember what it was. This stuff is really nice. That's a good... If you want to turn your brain off, that's a good mix. Cherry AK and Orange Juice by 1964. Just shut off my thought process. But I've been thinking a lot about the apocalypse because there's a lot of TV shows and a lot of movies that start by showing, you know, the devastation that goes on in the world right before the world ends. There's a lot of talk about the apocalypse starting. You notice the apocalypse starting with a bunch of different wars, countries blowing each other up, but also having like all these natural disasters happen at the same time until it compounds to the point where the world just fucking implodes on itself, you know, and we're taken out as a species. The whole world would be gone. But it's got me thinking, which way does the apocalypse unfold? Okay? As far as I can see it, we have... Sorry, I'm playing with my phone because I've got them written down here. So we've got like 4 main ways that I think that the apocalypse happens to the world. Is it going to be fire and brimstone? Is it going to be a nuclear war? Is it going to be an alien invasion or a meteor striking the planet? Is it going to be a catastrophic weather event that just engulfs the entire planet? I'm leaning towards... What is that? A, B, C, D. I'm leaning towards option E, which is we won't even know what happened. It'll just be over, you know, like the Big Bang. If that's what happened and started the universe, the fact that like something popped and then whatever years later we're here and we're growing and we're becoming humans and there's evolution starting or whatever you believe, right? So I'm inclined to believe evolution. But then again, I don't really discredit anything because like you don't know till you know. you know? You're not going to be able to, you're not going to know if there's a heaven and a hell, if there's a God, whatever, until you're at that point at the end of your life where you're about to meet him. You know what I'm saying? So I think the logical thing with what we know is to go with evolution and science. But everybody talks about this being like, you know, a simulation. If it's a simulation, I feel like the other three options are way more optionable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if there's somebody controlling or there's a program writing what's going to happen here and what's happening here, then I think that it's more likely that a meteor will hit, or like like countries will bomb each other into like exploding the planets, you know, something like that, or like aliens invading, because then there's theoretically someone in control of this simulation and they can have it play out however they want it to play out, like playing a video game. You know what I mean? So I think that, yeah, if you have faith, those options are more likely, I think is what I'm saying. Right? What was the first option again? I'm stoned. I hope you're stoned. Fire and brimstone. So, okay, if you're not religious, I feel like, and you look into like the simulation theory, or if you believe in the simulation theory or evolution, maybe they're a combination. I feel like it's more likely that those are the things that happen. Not because you believe in it, but just like if you believe in it and then that's true. I feel like those are the more likely things to happen, because people can plan for these events because it's like a video game or whatever, right? Or like whatever type of simulation it could be. Whereas if it's like a religious thing, I feel like fire and brimstone is like the only way to go. So like the devil at some point is going to rise up. Or are you going to say that the devil is the country that bombed the other country? Probably, right? Because that's what fucking religious people do. They blame, like they always find a way to relate it to religion, right? Right? I guess people that listen, I guess we all kind of do that for whatever our belief is. But yeah, so this is what I want to know. I want to know which one of those things you think it is. Because I feel like it's the least likely to be fire and brimstone. Like you're trying to tell me that, you know, the heavens are going to come crashing down and there's going to be a battle between angels and demons, or you'll get sucked up in a light, like in some light beam into like the netherworld, heaven, or whatever it is, or you're going to go fall through the floor and end up in like a lava pit that is hell, you know? I don't know. That seems relatively unlikely. Maybe a simulation would do that. I don't fucking know, dude. All I know is that I would be very surprised if I walked out my front door one day and there was a devil standing tall in my driveway. You know, same as I would be freaked out if I looked out the window and I saw two like angels flying down from the sky. That'd be pretty terrifying. Then you wouldn't know, everything you thought would be broken unless you were religious. And then in that case, you're like, vindication, you know? But like, yeah, that one's a tough one for me to buy into. Now, this one's a little easier to buy into, I think. The nuclear war. But I also think that's kind of wrong, because the ultimate goal of people in any race, any type, is survival, right? So the idea that you're going to start a nuclear war or run a nuclear war in order to try to, you know, kill off maybe some of the human crop, I feel like that's just bad business. Like, I don't feel like that's a thing that you would do if you were a leader of a country, because there's too much room for error. There's too much margin where like you have a nuclear war over on the, you know, the North Americas, and you obliterate them, but the fallout goes through the atmosphere to the sky. You're going to lose some of your people too, you know, for the amount that it would take to annihilate one type of civilization, I guess. So I feel like that one, it's slightly more believable, because the way that people talk in the media and the way that everybody portrays everything is like this, everything's going to blow up and everything's going to be bad kind of scenario. I get that. I can understand how, I could see how we have a better potential of that happening than fucking Satan's dick popping through the ground. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I still don't think nuclear war is that likely though, because you got to think you're gonna affect yourself, right? Like in the amount that you're gonna try and get rid of a civilization with a nuclear bomb, we've already seen what it can do. You're not gonna. I don't feel like as a world leader, even if you're like a megalomaniac and you're like this leader of a country, like I still don't see you doing it because it could still affect you. There's too much, you know, there's too much of a range of whether it'll like too much of a gray area, I guess. Yeah. So I don't think that nuclear war is the big thing either. Now, okay, this one's kind of crazy because lately in the news there's been this talk of what was it? The shit, what's it called? The telescope. The something Webb. Peter Webb? Paul Webb? What is it? I got to find out. Because I can't be wrong in this one because it's a fucking real thing and I'm high. The Webb telescope. Let's see if Google can figure out what I'm talking about. Oh, I turned it on not phone time. Okay, hold on. Let's see here. Okay. Is it the Peter Webb telescope? James Webb Space Telescope. That one. So recently, the James Webb, supposedly, the thing going around social media is that supposedly the James Webb telescope has detected a non-organic, maybe this is AI doing this, I don't know, but supposedly it's detected this non-organic entity flying towards Earth. Could you imagine if it was Klingons, dude? They just get off their ship and they're like, hi, look at us, we're gonna kill you now. But they're also like far, far away, so it's not gonna be in like my lifetime that this potential entity of aliens is gonna show up. It's gonna be like way later, or I'm gonna be close to death and I won't remember anyway. Could you imagine if aliens were like our god? Dude, that'd be trippy as shit, huh? Like they come down, they're like, we are your god, and you're like, no, you're not. And then they beam somebody to like heaven and they send somebody to hell with the tractor beam. And they're like, yes, we are. And you're like, holy fucking shit. These weird spine four-headed dudes are our gods. We've been playing this wrong the whole fucking time. But yeah, I don't think that that's a threat either. I don't even know if it's true. I just saw it a lot, of course. I saw it on TikTok. And I saw it on Instagram Reels and stuff. And like, I don't know. I would like to see an alien invasion, but it would be terrifying at the same time. Like, an alien invasion would be equivalent, probably more terrifying, but like, I think panic-wise, the equivalent of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, if you were stuck in that guy's house, the amount of panic you'd have to try and get out, I get that. And I get that vibe that the aliens would also do that to you. They'd drive you that, like, you would be like, oh my god, there really is fucking aliens. Oh my god, the aliens are trying to kill me. Ah, fuck. They're not friends. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't think that that'll happen. But then there's also the idea that, you know, we could get hit with a meteor at any time. That, again, more likely. More likely than aliens. More likely than, I think, than, like, nuclear holocaust or fire and brimstone. I don't think there's going to be a devil. I don't think that there's going to be angels. I don't think that we're going to take the risk that it would... I don't think that anybody would really want to take the risk of annihilating the entire planet just for, like, complete control. Yeah, I think that I would like to have a little more faith in humanity, at least. You know what I'm saying? I think that aliens coming from a distant planet to wipe us out is slightly... Now, you know what? It's right up there. Nuclear and that are like down near the bottom too. Aliens might be a little bit lower than the nuclear factor. Yeah, I think it is. Okay, so it goes fire and brimstone, and then nuclear holocaust, and then what's the other one? Nuclear... No. It goes fire and brimstone, I'm so stoned right now, dude. I can't even remember what I said. Fire and brimstone. Oh yeah, fire and brimstone, aliens, nuclear war, meteorite. I feel like that is. There's probably a higher chance of that happening. Just because all of a sudden a meteorite could show up and you'd be like, where the fuck did that bitch come from? You know? And then what's the last one here? The last option we have would be like a catastrophic weather event. I think that would be number one. If I was if I was really that concerned, I think a catastrophic weather event would be the most likely thing to like wipe people off the face of the planet. Because if you think about it, right now the way that the news is playing out, it's playing out just like they unroll the news in like sci-fi movies where the aliens take over, or like an apocalypse is happening, or the end of humanity is about to happen. You know, I feel like our news is reflecting that news right now. It's like a over dramatization, but not really, of what's going on. So you have these countries in the Middle East, or in like, what is it, Eastern Europe, fighting with each other on a like pretty massive scale. And then you have the rest of the world kind of being like, don't do that. Okay, shit, fuck, what do we do? You know what I mean? And at the same time, we're getting hammered with bigger and bigger weather storms, changes in the weather. Yeah, man, I don't know. I feel like that would be one of the more likely things to take down humanity, or at least put a dent in the population, is like, you know, some major weather changes for an extended period of time. I don't think it would be, if it was going to be that, I don't think it would be like a zap. I think it would take years of demise, because things just kind of play out slowly. I don't think there's one big abrupt end, except, okay, if by any chance a major accident happens, or a little bit of like jealous rage happens, then I think there's the potential for life to just end like that. But I also think we don't know enough about how the globe actually operates within the like the atmosphere in space. So we don't know what things could catastrophically affect us as humans yet. You know, there could be like the center of the Earth could be slowing down in its spin cycle. It is. Not to freak you out, but it is. And like, what happens when that thing stops? Because as far as I understand it, Neil deGrasse Tyson said it, if like the Earth stopped rotating, there would be no gravity, and you get flung into space at the speed that the Earth was rotating. Could you imagine that? Just like a little blackhead. And I mean that like a pimple, okay? Don't be a dick. Little pimple pop, pow, right out the thing, you know? Yeah. Dude. I think that a catastrophic weather event would have the higher potential to take humans out. 100%. I think that's our most likely endgame. Is that the Earth's rotation is affected, which then exacerbates climate issues, which ultimately leads to the slow, agonizing death of a civilization. Now, I also think we have, as humans, the opportunity to directly affect how, you know, this plays out. So I don't think it's as likely as some kind of crazy happenstance where the Earth itself like implodes. I don't even know. It could just be anything. It's almost like, so we have what's in the news? There was the this chemical plant fire / explosion down in the south. Dude, that's like really bad shit into the atmosphere. They're having to like what's it called? Not quarantine. Hold in place. Like, everybody's got to stay at home, not go anywhere, because they don't know what the air quality is like, and it's all this chemical plant went up in flames, dude. At the same time, we got a hurricane that hit, like, Florida, I think it was. I don't know. I'm stoned. I'm just saying that I think that it's more likely that either we're going to make ourselves pop inadvertently or the weather is going to slowly just eat into our population, you know? I think that that's the only two ways that this can go. Yeah. Yeah. I don't see as much as I would like to meet an alien, I don't see an alien invasion happening anytime soon. And I definitely don't see the devil and God playing samurai on like in like, you know, across the fucking Himalayas. You know what I'm saying? I think it's more likely that I'll go to outer space after smoking one of these bad boys. That's right. It's time to smoke, which I didn't mention at the beginning and I meant to, is because the Blue Dream from Space Race was so good a couple episodes ago, I figured I'd pick up these Moonwalkers. They're Moonwalkers, they're Della Haze. What is the mix? The lineage is really small print, dude. Mango, Haze, and Cali Lemon something. Cali Lemon. Fuck, dude, that's so small. Smoothie. Cali Lemon Smoothie or Cali Lemon Smoothie. Fuck. They are a 0.5, no, 0.6. And the percentage, where is it? The percentage is 31%. Terpenes are 2.89%. I can't remember if they're a sativa or an indica. What's the strains? I don't know. It's a haze, so I'm pretty sure it was a sativa. I do find that it doesn't represent 31% very well. And I know I'm always saying, like, don't just believe THC percentage, but that definitely does help. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to smoke one of these bad boys. That's right. 0.6 gram, 31%. I've already smoked a couple of them. And yeah, I didn't think they accurately represented 31%. And again, like I just said, I know that I'm the first person to say, like, hey, but THC percentage isn't everything. It is a little something. It's not everything. It shouldn't be the only thing you rely on, but at 2.6 whatever percent terps and 31% THC with, you know, a minute amount of CBD, I expected a little more from this guy, especially after trying the Blue Dream. They're a good size though. Like if you smoke two of these together, if it was a 1 gram, it'd be a different story, I think. They're little kind of stubbies. But they have a sweet smell. They're they've got more of that like woodsy kind of flavor. Be a good one to take camping, especially if you're gonna go chop wood. Yeah, this elevates you enough to chop a little bit of wood, baby. I wouldn't smoke this. I wouldn't smoke this during the apocalypse because like you'd be way too on edge, you know? You'd be just waiting for the next worst thing to happen. I would smoke this if there was, once the apocalypse was declared over and you were still alive, then maybe enjoy the life with a little bit of this. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, it's kind of tasty. It doesn't make you choke or cough. It's smooth. It's not dry. Doesn't have a lot of resin, but it is a nice smoke. It does have like a bit of a body calming effect. Even though you feel it the most you feel this is right along the cheekbones, right where it starts to get warm. Like if you drink, you know, when your cheeks get a little rosy, it feels like that, but it like creeps up to your eyes a bit, and yeah, it pulls you in. I feel like it's definitely a hybrid and not a sativa, and it does make you feel kind of like airy, as if you're walking on the moon, because you're walking on the moon. I can't sing. Don't ask me to sing. But overall, I would say that I was disappointed with it because I expected more because their Blue Dream was so fucking good. Dude, it made my brain stop. Okay? And I guess that's what I'm looking for. This one is good if you're going to do things like a podcast, be social, clean your bathroom, shit like that. That's what this one's good for. It's good to keep your mind off of it, but like your body nice and relaxed about stuff. If the apocalypse happened, you'd probably get freaked out. You might shit yourself after you smoke this a little bit because you'd be like, no! You know? Makes you, yeah, I think so. So, I'd say I'm a little disappointed in it, but I didn't really know, and I didn't have expectations. I didn't really know, and I didn't really think about what it would be like. I just thought, oh, the Blue Dream was so good, this one's got to be good. And I'm a little let down, but that's because my expectation was hoping it would match the Blue Dream. Overall, though, if you're looking for a nice laid back, not going to make you go to sleep high, but definitely an after dinner relaxing high, I'd say give this guy a try. For what they are, I'd say they might be, well, I mean, you get what? 6 or 10? How many are in here? 6. 4 gram, oh, they're 4 grams, sorry. 6 4-gram pre-rolls for the Space Race Moonwalkers. Yeah. It's very, very much a sativa leaner. They say that about everything, though. They say that indica and sativa doesn't matter. I think it does. They say that a hybrid isn't anything. They're all hybrids of some kind and whatever. You know what, dude? In my experience, it's been very simple. If I smoke a sativa, I get all energetic and I can't stop talking or sitting. I can't sit down. I have to do something. I generally clean all the shit I own. You know what I mean? Like, it's very motivating. Whereas if I smoke an indica, I'm definitely just down for watching TV and sitting on the fucking couch. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think there's a difference. And you do notice a difference in hybrids as well, man. Because, like, a lot of hybrids, they hit you right in the middle. And they give you the best of both worlds. And if you really pay attention to your high, you'll notice it and you can tell. You know? Just like if you pay attention to your surroundings. Then you'll know if the apocalypse is going to happen. But I want to know what other people think. I want to know if you think that, like, it's the second coming of Christ that's going to eventually happen for real, or if it's like, you know, aliens, if it's a nuclear holocaust, if it's a meteorite. Yeah, I want to know what your thoughts are. I think that it's a very good possibility that if it's a simulation, somebody might unplug the computer and we're all fucked. Yeah, that's what I think. But I definitely don't think that it's going to be what we think it's going to be. You know what I mean? I think we've got our eye on other things, and there's something else creeping up that's going to be like, oh, guess what? Now this. And you're like, fuck. We didn't even see that coming. As humans, we like to think that we can fucking figure everything out. I think there comes a time where you just, even as a large society with a lot of brain power, you still get to the point where you're like, oh, we're fucked. You know? I think that's why there's been so many iterations of the human race. And when I say iterations, I don't mean like, you know, new different styles of humans, even though I think there's been a correlation to like gradual evolution to us. I'm so high, I'm trying to be safe. I think evolution to us happened. And if that happened, then there were like different versions of us. So we went from like, you know, Neanderthal to whatever to human, right? So I don't know what I'm rambling about now. I just realized I'm stoned. You know what? Yeah, this stuff gives you a little bit of a pop. It came out of nowhere. I just all of a sudden got high and forgot what I was talking about mid-sentence. That's a good way to escape my way out of whatever I was talking about that I forget. No, I know what I was saying. I just think that I think that the human race won't see the apocalypse coming. I don't think we'll even realize it happened. I think it'll be a quick flash. I don't think it'll be a big prolonged thing. I think we're dumb enough to do something stupid that catastrophically affects how the world operates in a organic like atmosphere, you know? Yeah. I think it could happen. I think also because like just human emotion gets in the way. So like, you know, you want something bad enough and you don't agree with people, you might just pow something that you shouldn't, you know? So I could see that. But I don't know what I actually believe, which one I believe is. I think it's just a pop. I think something happens and then one day we're here and one day we're not. Mostly because I don't want to go through like a fucking agonizing death. I want to go quick in my sleep. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So any of those ideas are pretty terrifying if you think about it. Especially for somebody like me that's like, no, I'm not a warrior. You know what I mean? I'm not dying on my sword. I'm going to die cowering under my bed like a bitch. Yeah. What do you think? Do you think that the apocalypse is going to be, you know, a multitude of these other things? Do you think it's going to be a combination of everything? There's a little bit of, you know, devil and angel. There's a little bit of nuclear boom boom. And then, then there's, you know, a little bit of aliens. And then a meteor hits. And then next thing you know, the fucking waves are bigger than continents. I don't know, man. It's kind of fascinating to think that we try our best to stop or prevent, but I don't think like I don't know if you could. If the world was gonna tip and teeter and totter and then fall, I think it does it. I think it's just the way it works, you know? And I think we could probably provide an imbalance that could set that off. Yeah, for sure. I think that we definitely could do that. All right, I'm rambling. But yeah, those are my thoughts off the stem for this week. I think the apocalypse is going to be a surprise. I don't think it's going to be what we think it is, if it happens. Hopefully it doesn't happen. And hopefully you come back next week with me, Justin Barone, your friendly neighborhood pothead, on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, YouTube, Good Pods, Podchaser, Podbean, and Pandora. Everywhere you get a podcast, baby. That's right. Visit tots420.com to find all the links for those places. And have a listen, have a watch, do whatever you do. But tell your people to watch it. I don't even have anything to smoke because, like, that thing was so small. That's another downside to that joint. That joint was way too small for what I was hoping. But yeah. I wouldn't smoke that as my apocalypse smoke. No, sir. I know exactly what I would smoke. I would smoke the fucking chronic terp and diamond infused blunt. The 3-gram cigar hand rolled blunt. I'd get one of those and I would smoke the shit out of it as the world burned. Yeah. I don't know what happened there. I was saying goodbye. Those are my thoughts off the stem. Hope you come back next week. Until next time, keep your lids low, baby. Right on.